Hello everyone, it's us at TV Day's Drama Digest once again. Today, we have a deep dive into one of Salem's most intriguing storylines, Rachel Black, her troubled emotions, and the dark secret she's been keeping. Will Rachel finally confess her involvement in EJ's shooting to her parents, Kristen and Brady? As fans know, Rachel's character has become more complex and withdrawn over recent months. Her inner turmoil is becoming impossible to ignore, and today's developments show just how close she is to a breaking point. Her struggles are tied to the shocking question of whether she might have been the one to pull the trigger and shoot EJ Mera. Let's unpack the events leading up to this pivotal moment and explore what could happen next. The growing tension between Kristen and Brady. It's no surprise that Kristen and Brady are once again at odds, and this time, it's all about their daughter, Rachel. The couple's relationship has always been complicated, but now, their different approaches to parenting are becoming more pronounced. Brady's concern for Rachel is palpable, but Kristen's protective instincts are starting to clash with his desire to keep their family together and move past the trauma of EJ's shooting. The couple's disagreements are intensifying, particularly over Rachel's increasingly erratic behavior. While Kristen is deeply suspicious about the impact of EJ's constant presence in their lives, Brady is focused on keeping his daughter safe from any more turmoil. Their differing perspectives create tension as they argue over what's best for Rachel, each one unsure of how to deal with the weight of her silence. As Rachel's birthday approaches, the tension heightens. She has been increasingly withdrawn, not just from her parents, but from the rest of the world as well. Her social isolation is a worrying sign that something deeper is going on. What is she hiding? Why is she becoming so distant, and why has she been unable to connect with anyone around her? Rachel's struggle, a child on the brink of a breakdown. Rachel's emotional state is the heart of today's drama. Once a bubbly and innocent child, Rachel has slowly transformed into a girl who is barely holding it together. She's struggling to adjust to therapy and, despite her parents' best efforts, she continues to isolate herself. Most concerning is the fact that Rachel's birthday, usually a time for celebration, is nothing more than a painful reminder of her broken state. In a heartbreaking moment, Rachel is seen retreating into herself. She doesn't want to deal with her parents' questions or the well-meaning attempts from Kristen to comfort her. Despite Kristen's efforts to offer solace, Rachel feels trapped by the weight of her secret. She knows that the truth about what happened to EJ is something she cannot hide forever, but the fear of losing her family is overwhelming. As the day wears on, Rachel begins to feel the pressure of keeping her secret, especially when she realizes that she is facing a much bigger problem than she initially thought. Her birthday party is eerily quiet. No friends show up. No one reaches out to her, and this stark reality hits her hard. In a moment of despair, she finally breaks down and finds comfort in Kristen's arms. But as Kristen holds Rachel, trying to reassure her, a deep sense of guilt and fear weighs heavily on Rachel's heart. Kristen, sensing that something is deeply wrong, tries to get Rachel to open up, but her daughter remains distant. Will Rachel finally confess what she's been hiding, or will she continue to live in fear of what might happen if she tells the truth? The rumors, could Rachel have shot EJ? As Rachel continues to spiral, rumors begin to circulate that she might have been the one responsible for shooting EJ. These whispers are more than just idle gossip. They reflect the mounting suspicion that Rachel's increasingly erratic behavior could be connected to the violent act that has rocked Salem. With the casting of a more mature Rachel, the storylines surrounding her character are beginning to delve into more intense and adult themes. This shift suggests that Rachel may be facing more than just a typical teenage rebellion. There's a much darker issue at play. Her anger at EJ, particularly for the years of conflict and chaos he caused in her family, may have built up to the point where she felt compelled to take action herself. Could Rachel, in a fit of rage, have taken matters into her own hands and shot EJ? Her animosity toward him has been building for some time. She witnessed the destruction he caused in her family. His constant conflicts with Kristen, his manipulation of Brady, and his overall control over her mother. In her young mind, she may have believed that the only way to end the suffering was to make EJ disappear. The idea that Rachel could have taken such drastic measures is chilling, but it also makes sense given her emotional turmoil. She's been exposed to so much dysfunction within her family, and her feelings of anger and helplessness may have led her to lash out in the most destructive way possible. Rachel's birthday party, a moment of truth? As Rachel's birthday party unfolds, the tension between her internal struggle and her parents' concerns reaches a breaking point. Kristen and Brady both desperately want to help their daughter, but Rachel is unable to let them in. This creates a sense of isolation that is both heartbreaking and telling. Will Rachel finally confess what happened? Or will her fear of losing her family keep her from speaking the truth? The birthday party, which should be a joyous occasion, turns into a moment of reckoning. The absence of friends, the silence in the air, and Rachel's emotional breakdown all point to a much deeper problem. As she sits alone in her room, the weight of the truth becomes unbearable. She knows she can't keep the secret forever, but she also knows that telling her parents could tear their family apart. The tension in the room builds as Kristen and Brady, desperate to understand their daughter's behavior, ask the tough questions. Kristen, ever the protective mother, urges Rachel to be honest with her, while Brady, who is struggling with his own feelings of guilt and regret, tries to offer comfort. But Rachel, torn between her love for her parents and the fear of their disappointment, remains silent. In the midst of her confusion, Rachel has a moment of clarity. She realizes that if she doesn't come clean now, she may never have the chance again. This could be her last chance to confess and free herself from the burden she's been carrying. But will she find the strength to reveal the truth, or will she continue to carry the weight of her secret, terrified of the consequences? The impact of Rachel's secret. What's at stake? Rachel's secret is not just about the shooting of EJ. It's about the unraveling of everything her parents have worked for. If Rachel confesses that she shot EJ, the repercussions will be catastrophic. Kristen and Brady are both deeply invested in their daughter's future, but if the truth comes out, they will lose her. The most likely consequence is that Child Protective Services will intervene and Rachel will be removed from her parents' care. This would be a devastating blow to a family already on the brink of destruction. Kristen's relationship with Rachel has always been strained, but this revelation would change everything. Kristen's role as a mother has been marred by her often controversial actions, but she has always tried to protect Rachel. However, her ability to shield her daughter from the consequences of her actions may be too limited now. Brady, on the other hand, is in the dark about the full extent of Rachel's involvement in the shooting. His protective instincts are in overdrive, but his inability to truly understand what's going on with his daughter may be his undoing. If he finds out the truth about what Rachel has done, it could push him into an emotional and moral conflict he's not ready for. The turning point? Will Rachel confess? As the episode reaches its climax, the question remains. Will Rachel finally confess the truth about EJ's shooting? The pressure is mounting, and it's clear that she can't keep the secret much longer. Her emotional breakdown, her withdrawal from those who care about her, and her isolation all point to a girl who is on the edge. Will her birthday be the moment of reckoning, or will she continue to hide the truth, afraid of the consequences? The tension surrounding Rachel's secret is only getting more intense. Kristen and Brady are both desperate to save their daughter, but they're also unaware of the depth of her involvement in the crime. As Rachel's birthday approaches, so does the inevitable truth, and with it, the potential for everything to change. Conclusion: the future of Rachel and her family. The days ahead for Rachel and her family are filled with uncertainty. As the story unfolds, viewers are left on the edge of their seats, wondering if Rachel will finally admit what she's done and what the consequences will be for her parents. The emotional turmoil Rachel is experiencing could be the catalyst for the next big drama in Salem, as Kristen and Brady face the reality of losing their daughter and their family forever. As we wait to see how this storyline develops, one thing is clear. Rachel's secret is a ticking time bomb, and when it explodes, it will change everything in Salem. Thank you for tuning in to this extended analysis of Rachel's storyline on Days of Our Lives. We hope you enjoyed it and look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe TV Days Drama Digest for more updates on Days of Our Lives.